Let's look at debugging in PyCharm. So we've got some code written, and let's say we want to see what's actually going on. And this is one of the very powerful things about writing our Python code within an IDE, within this integrated development environment, which in this case is PyCharm for us. We can use these debugging tools that make it easier to inspect our code as it's being run and see values of variables, see where errors might occur, things like that as the program is running. So in order to debug, what we can do is instead of clicking this play button to run our test.py file, we can click this debug, and that will debug our test.py file. So let's see what that looks like without making any other changes initially. And we see down here in the left, we have our program running. So let's stop that. And let's modify our code a little bit, make it a little easier to view this debugging. Let's just create some variables. And then print, let's just say var2 plus var3. So let's now hover over one of these lines that are displayed to the left of our code, and you see there's a red dot that appears for every line of code we have. And this is where we can make a breakpoint, which is something that when we debug, we can tell the program to stop there and wait there while we look around. So I'm going to create a breakpoint here by clicking. Now you see there's that red dot, and I'm going to hit the debug again. So now our program has stopped here. It's mid-run, and we can look under this debug section at some of the values of our variables. So we see var1 is equal to high, var2 is equal to 5, and that can be very useful. If we're running a program and we need to look at things, figure out what's occurring, we could have dozens or hundreds of variables here and inspect them. So very useful, very powerful in PyCharm. Now, if we want to keep going, what we can do is down here in our debug pane, we see there's a few buttons. We can resume program, which will just continue running the program through the end. Or we can step over. We can step into, step out. So right now I'm just going to talk about continuing and step over. We'll get more into these details in a future lecture when we get into another IDE that we're going to be using more, which is VS Code. But if we just hit resume program, it just continues on and finishes the program. Let's click debug again. And what we can do is just step over. We see it just goes to the next line. So we've added a variable here to our output. So we can view the variable var3, and that's value is 100. So we just proceeded a line of Python code. And that step over is very useful for just going line by line and looking at values as they change. So that's a little bit about debugging in PyCharm. And we'll use this for a little bit and build on this foundation as we use it. And I hope you can download it and start testing your own Python code.